And we're here today with Janice Russell of Minding Your Matters Organizing. How are you doing today, Janice?
I'm fine, thanks. How about you, Anna?
Great, doing great.
Good.
And today we're going to be talking a little bit with Janice about what it takes to become a professional organizer. So I've heard that Minding Your Matters actually offers consulting services for people who want to become professional organizers. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. We provide services actually for two different people in that group.
Okay.
It can be either potential organizers or brand new organizers who just need to learn things about starting their business, about how to get the first clients, things like that. But we also consult with veteran organizers who maybe feel stuck with the way their business is, or they want to take their business to the next level, or something of that nature. So we have a two-pronged approach.
Awesome. And so since you're working with these two different groups, are there any misconceptions that come up when it comes to being a professional organizer?
Absolutely, and it's especially for the younger, I shouldn't say younger, for the newer organizers. Because I get calls and emails every week saying, I've been organized all my life and now I want to be an organizer. And it sounds so easy to say it that way, but what most people don't realize, I confess I didn't realize, is that you have to run a business. Most organizers at this point are sole proprietors, and so not only do you have to do the organizing part, but you have to do the admin and the bookkeeping and the networking and the marketing and all of that. So there's the business piece to it. The other piece that people often don't realize is that even if they themselves are organized, that doesn't automatically mean that you can teach others to be organized.
And so why do you think that is? It's like, okay, if I've been an organized person and I know how to keep my house and my business in order, you don't think that I would necessarily be a good candidate for a professional organizer?
It really depends on the person. There are lots of different factors in helping others to organize. For example, you need not just one way to organize, like papers. That's a big one. There's not just one way to organize papers. There are lots of different ways depending on the person and the personality and the needs and the requirements. So you have to sort of develop that, sort of broaden what organizing looks like. The other thing is you have to be able, it sounds sort of silly, but you have to be able to work with a variety of people. So you know how we all have people that maybe irritate us a little or grade us in the wrong way or whatever. You have to be prepared. I mean, there are situations where people get overwhelmed and they cry, and then there are situations where they can say some not so pleasant things and you have to decide where to draw your boundaries. There are situations when you're working with multiple people in the same space where maybe they have some different philosophies on what it should look like. So those are some other reasons. Not necessarily that they wouldn't be good, but I think people need to know that and realize they may need to get some training in that.
Awesome. Okay, thanks. So then what's the benefit of consulting versus taking classes?
That's a really good question. The first thing I tell people is that there is no college where you can get a degree in professional organizing. And I have nothing against classes. In fact, there are many associations who offer classes specific for organizers. And then there are colleges, mainly local community colleges, but others as well, where you can take some classes in running a business. And those are all good classes and good things to take. Of course, there are lots of web resources and things like that. The benefit to coaching is that someone can ask me a specific question and they can get a specific answer, or we can sort of hash things out. So it's because most people are sole proprietors, they don't usually have someone to bounce things off of or to get other specific ideas about to their industry. So it's just sort of a way. I usually urge people to sort of take the classes to get the foundation, and then, I'm happy to coach them all the way through. If they have unlimited money, it's a great thing. But, most people don't have unlimited money, especially starting up a business. So it's good to sort of do some classwork and then get that specific, I need help with this, what do I need to do?
Okay, good. And then my other question for you is, since I know that there are other professional organizers out there, what makes your consulting services unique from them?
That's a good question as well. There are a couple of different things that make mine unique. Of course, I love doing this and I love helping other people, but, other organizers would say the same thing. So I talk about it in terms of when I started my business during the recession of 2002. So that's different from many other people. Not many people start businesses in the middle of a recession. I also started it as a sole proprietor, and I support myself. I had just moved to a new community 3 months prior, and I have a mortgage to pay and etc. So as a single person trying to support myself, I started up a business from that. I also started it as a sole proprietor saying, I will never ever hire anybody. I'm going to do everything myself. And now I actually have 2 other organizers who work for me and 2 part-time admin staff. So I've done the whole sole proprietor, employee, subcontractor, so I have that breadth of knowledge that some other people don't have. And finally, for me, within the first 5 years, the company hit 6 figures, which I think is pretty good for a new company. And the fact that I didn't have any experience as a business owner, so I really had to learn everything. I didn't come from that background at all.
Good, that's awesome. So since it seems like you've been doing this for a while, do you have any products or anything like that for people who would like to become?
Absolutely. Some of what I've developed for products comes out of the people who call me. So I have a couple of different things. I have an ebook called Nuts and Bolts, and it has things like forms and checklists and templates and things for either a new organizer or a veteran who's looking to change some things up. It even has things like voicemail responses and email responses and templates and things like that to really get people started. I made up at one point and still have available a t-shirt that on the front says clutter doesn't scare me, and on the back it says I'm a professional organizer. And I tell people, when you wear it, always carry cards, because people will always come up and ask for cards.
Awesome.
I have started an audio series right now that's for the general public, which can include organizers, and I have 2 titles there. One is Stop Letting Stuff Overwhelm You, and the other one is Tackle the No Time Trap.
Good.
But I'm also developing some audios just for organizers. The first couple of titles will be When ADA Isn't Assistant District Attorney and Personality Effects on the Organizing Process. So those will be available for download from the website.
Okay, and so where do you recommend people go to find out more information about your consulting services and more resources?
Absolutely. My website is mindingyourmatters.com. That's all one word, mindingyourmatters.com. There are lots of different places to go on there as far as just generic resources, articles, blog entries, things like that. But under the main resources page, there's a specific subpage, as it were, called For Organizers. And so that specifically lists books, ideas. It also points you back to where you can get any of the products that you want.
Oh, good. Well, thank you very much. It was great to speak to you.
Thank you.
I hope that some
it.
of the other organizers or people who are looking to be organizers out there will consider Janice's services. She definitely has a wealth of knowledge to give. So check out our website. It's www.mindingyourmattersorganizing.com and talk to Janice. Thanks.